It was lit. Everything's good. We'll start out with the approval of the minutes of September 3rd meeting. Can I get a motion to approve? Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Approval of per diem for October 1 meeting today.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Approval of proposed public procurement review board Office of Purchasing, Travel, and Fleet Management Rules and Regulations. Can I get a motion to approve?
I move for approval. Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. We'll move on to reports. OPTFM emergency purchases. Good morning.
Good morning.
We're great.
So for the emergency contract, we have Department of Health. The contract is created for Keys Inc. for $150,000.
I've got a question on this. I read over the emergency, letters requesting, and nowhere in there it says cribs, that they're requesting in cribs. Of course, I questioned about emergency purchase for cribs. You don't know you need something. It's not like a vaccine that you gotta have when you have an outbreak or something. What's
Do they not get tired of sending fucking messages?
What?
Somebody's not on mute.
what did you say? I just was not.
Dropped an F-bomb.
All right. Sure. Now you're speaking violence.
Now you know this.
Now you're an oil field. But I understand that.
You're the king of mom.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty good. Lordy. I guess I'm questioning why the emergency purchase of cribs, that seems like, let's go in the storehouse, see how many we got, and see if we can get 30 more. But then the letter they request.
Do we have anybody
Not
from
even
health on the line that could explain, or health may know what health
Yes.
needs?
Hello, good morning. Can y'all hear me?
Can
How the hell are you?
I'm so sorry. I'm at the car repair shop this morning, so I'm catching in from a lobby.
Oh, we're digressing today.
Oh, let's go get. Let's hurry up.
We'll go to page 11 and adjourn.
No, I'm just questioning about, why, is there an explanation why they're doing this? Other than you need them, but why wasn't it looked at before? Why is it?
Yes, sir. Thank you for that. And we can certainly provide additional documentation around the justification. So in 2024, approximately 1/3 of the deaths for infants that we had in Mississippi were related to accidental suffocation and strangulation in bed. When we review those deaths through the child death review process and the infant mortality review process, we find that generally about 54% of those babies that die related to ASSB are dying not in a crib, bassinet, or other safe sleep surface. 38% are not on their back. 48% are have just general unsafe sleep situations going on. And about 31% of those babies die in bed with either a sibling or a caregiver, whether that's a parent or grandparent, aunt or uncle. So the State Department of Health has reviewed the evidence-based interventions around safe sleep, around reducing accidental strangulation and suffocation in bed, and the provision of cribs to families in need is one of those evidence-based interventions. So the request is being made to purchase a large amount of cribs so that we can distribute those through a vetted referral process that will be keeping data and tracking all of the distributions through our county health departments. We'd have 15 distribution or storage sites, and county health departments would be able to request them from those sites for the individuals who are referred for a crib.
I understand the need for a crib. I'm not questioning that. I was just questioning why this wasn't bid out. And, you know, it's, I question cribs needing an emergency, situation. That's the only thing I was questioning.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't understand why this was, I mean, I understand the concerns and your research and your findings. The question is why was this not bid? I mean, in the process?
Sure.
Why was
So
the
one,
an emergency?
I didn't hear the last part of your question. I heard
That-
why was it not bid, but I didn't have the second part.
So why was it not bid, and therefore why was it declared an emergency rather than bidding?
I understand. So the purchasing process, we did not bid this out because this particular, what we're purchasing is actually a Safe Sleep kit. It is an assembly of, let's see, 8 different items. It's the crib, Safe Sleep sack, the fitted sheet that goes into the crib, educational materials such as an ABC, so alone, back crib is the message, photo magnet, pacifier, a step-down book that explains when infants should be transitioned from the bassinet part of the crib to the lower floor of the crib, and then out of a crib into a different toddler bed, as well as a like a children's book geared towards families to teach them about safe sleep. So to purchase all of those things separately would actually result in us spending more money, because to get a discounted price, we'd have to order way more than the product that we need right now. So we have not found another source that packages all of those items in that particular kit in one place. Cribs for Kids is the only vendor that we've found that does that.
But I still think you could have written specifications asking for all of those things to be in a kit. I mean, I've bought beds and stuff for a hospital under state contract, and not state contract, bidding them out. And we specified what we wanted. So I guess that's the real concern, is that you probably could have written specifications asking for all of those things to be included. And you may have only had this vendor responding, but the concern here is that, is it truly fit the definition of an emergency according to state law? And of course, your Department of Health administrator has signed off on it. So, you know, that's just a concern that I have.
And I don't want to speak on behalf of them, but I do know they've had a lot of turnover lately. So it may have just been an issue of timing and staff. But I understand what you're saying, and I can look into it with the Department of Health and see if I can get the reason for what happened and how we ended up here. And I can report back to y'all when I
Okay.
figure out exactly what caused it to be an emergency need.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead. I'm good. Bye.
All right, any other questions or observations?
If I can just ask for clarity, the lady who just spoke, can I just have your name so I can get that back to the department that you're going to follow up with
Sure.
us about that? I'm sorry.
This is Brittany Thompson.
Thank you, Brittany.
Brittany, it's Chris Statham. I'm looking for the emergency declaration that was included with it, to get that information to review it as well.
Okay, I'll touch base with you, Chris, and we'll get the information back to the board.
Okay. All right, so we'll move on to OPTFM sole source purchases. Any questions or? Okay. OPTFM staff approvals.
I've got a question on this. about halfway down to the Husband Regional Center.
It's on that back up. Right, yeah, about 3 inches.
Right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, what's Mr. Husband's doing here? For
They're about-
$34,000, it says they're buying a 2010 Econo van, 2019 Ram trucks, and a 2016 Ford 150. Is that correct?
From surplus property.
Surplus property.
Yeah,
They're buying it?
yeah, somebody's put them, some agency put them out there and
They're selling them or buying them?
so there, some agency has donated them, transferred them to surplus property,
Oh, okay.
which is part of the
Okay,
state.
okay.
That's
And-
under DFA.
Yeah,
Oh, so these came from another agency, they go to surplus property.
it could have come from a city or
It's
something,
come
whatever.
from governmental entity.
That's the first
Or not
time,
necessarily governmental entity.
that's the first time I've seen that. I
Yeah.
didn't realize what's going on.
You should actually go
Big
out there.
facility out there.
Yeah, okay, good, that answers my question.
And we bought dental equipment, you never know what you find out.
We have a lot of furniture,
Yeah.
all kind of things.
Beds.
Nice.
stuff like
Is that open to the public too?
No,
No, just cities and counties can benefit from it as well.
that.
That's
A long time ago, David, not legally you could, but it's been done.
I understand.
A lot of deer camps got.
Oh, yeah. Are you speaking for?
He's speaking from,
I'm not going there.
No, but my former life.
from an auditor's perspective, yes.
Good morning.
All right. We don't have any further questions. We'll move on to BOB staff approvals. Any questions, no comments? Okay, OPSCR emergency contracts.
I've got one question on the Medicaid, just to make sure I understand. It says, you're getting Horn, and my understanding is Horn's a professional service, so it's not subject, but, the letter is this letter serves as notification of emergency procedure by Medicaid resulting in a contract greater than $75,000. Why did it come under a different category? Why is this an emergency? Why isn't it just under sole source or?
So I suspect that Horn is serving a different purpose than auditing, which is normally what you see Horn for when it's exempt. But if they're using them for purposes other than auditing services, it does come under PPRB.
Because they're making an application for a grant is what
That's
they're
right.
doing.
This is a new federal program
Okay.
and Horn is gonna help oversee it.
Yeah, I understand if they do that. So there's a timeline, a deadline that you have to apply by.
That's right, and it's quick, I think it's by the end of this month.
Okay.
So to be able to put an application in to be able to draw down.
Okay.
So I think it's.
So this is not auditing or
For
anything.
accounting.
No.
This is applying for grants and that does not come up.
Yes, sir, and it's gonna go out to the rural community and,
Yeah.
yeah, all the reporting that comes with it is really where they come in because the feds are tickish.
At what point in time does Horn become a different name? They got that
They
way.
don't go in, I think it's November 1, maybe, is the official, that big BDO.
BDO.
I think it's November, but don't.
No, I'm just curious because we probably won't be seeing Horn's name
We'll see that,
anymore
yeah.
on that.
We'll get a lot of these coming through with the change.
A name
Bob
change.
said.
Yeah, modifications of contract.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was just curious. I didn't know. I remember seeing it
I'm
in
pretty
the
sure.
news on
it's
the merger, but I didn't
Yeah.
know what the date was on that.
it's a game changer.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
All right, there's no items under OPSCR sole source, so we'll move on to OPSCR staff approvals.
I have one question down near the bottom, rehab. Or rehab, what are all these $500,000? No, 500,000 is kind of the limit. What are they? You know, one of them says petition for relief. Well, is that a company?
Do we have somebody,
Well, just a little bit, right there.
please?
Yeah. Is
So-
petition for relief, is that name of a company?
No, this is, should be changed to one of these companies,
To a
but
company, okay.
it should be a company name. And it looks like these are probably standby contracts that rehab is using on an as-needed basis. Do we have somebody from rehab who could speak to these contracts all being $500,000?
First one's new, the rest are applications.
Can you hear me now? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, this is Lee Shirley from Rehab. Can you say the question one more time?
All these $500,000 contracts on the staff approval report for these pre-ETF services,
Mhm.
are those standby contracts y'all are using with each of these vendors?
Yes, it's an as-needed basis. What these are is the pre-employment transition services for children in schools. It's an educational program where we go in and help students with disabilities prepare either for college or to go forward in a career. We have large contracts because mainly we have a lot of students that use these services, and they each get a large amount because the students get to choose which vendor they use. It's not necessarily up to us to tell them which one they use. So yes, they're standby contracts.
And we'll modify the report to put the correct vendor up there for that person. Yes.
The one that says petition is actually a petition for relief that the agency is setting the price for, so it's a staff petition.
Oh, okay. So the petition for relief that y'all normally see come on the regular part of the agenda, the agency is setting the price for this one, so it becomes a staff approval at that point. So that's why it's up there for those same services. They're gonna put out a new RFP for these pre-ETF services. And this is them coming and saying, we're about to put out a new procurement.
So they're allocating part of the budget at this point for somebody.
They
or
are,
something.
yes, that is their anticipated spend is 500,000 for an additional contract for these services.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you.
All right. So we'll move on to 6A1, Department of Transportation.
The report to agency is Mississippi Department of Transportation. Total value is $2,574,352. MDOT completed the competitive seal bid process for the purchase of up to 8 asphalt distributors. The contract term is for 1 year with up to 4 possible 12-month extensions. It will be available to the state agencies and governing authorities. OPTFM recommends approval of these contracts.
You've heard staff recommendation. Can I get a motion to approve?
Move approval of this item.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion passes.
Mississippi Division of Medicaid is requesting to use the state contract of Lexmark International Inc. for the rental of copiers in the amount of $6,549.98 per month for 60 months. The total value of this contract is $755,998.80. OPTFM recommends approval of these contracts.
You've heard staff recommendations. Can I get a motion to approve?
I move approval based on staff recommendation.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
The Department of Health has requested that we remove item 3 off the agenda for today. They will bring that item back before the board if and when they decide to move forward with it.
Okay. Item 4,
Mississippi Department of Transportation, total value of this contract is $2,122,500. By Insurance Plus LLC. MDOT solicited competitive deal bids for the purchase of compact excavators and was originally approved by PPRB on November the 1st, 2023. This is the third of 9 possible 2-month extensions. OPTFM recommends approval of these extensions.
you've heard staff recommendation. Can I get a motion to approve?
Move for approval, that's the staff recommendation.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion passes.
MDOT, solicited competitive deal bid for the number of 28 tractors for District 6. The original contract was approved by OPTFM, and this is the fourth of 4 possible 12-month extensions. The supplier is John Deere Financial, LSB. The total value of this contract is $1,160,000. OPTFM recommends approval of these extensions.
You've heard staff recommendation. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Mississippi Department of Transportation, has a contract for the total value is $875,000. MDOT solicited competitive deal bid for rock salt. Both contracts were originally approved by PPRB on December the 6th, 2023. This is the second extension of 2 possible 12-month extensions. The supplier is Compass Minerals Top Services. OPTFM recommends approval of this extension.
You heard staff recommendation. Can I get a motion to approve?
I move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Mississippi Department of Public Safety supplies Federal Signal Corporate. The total value is $2,467,200. EPS solicited competitive seal bids for light bars. This contract was originally approved by PPRB on 10/2/2024, and this is the first of the 4 possible 12-month extensions. OPTFM recommends approval of this extension.
You've heard staff recommendation. Can I get a motion to approve?
I move approval based on staff's recommendation.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Mississippi Department of Transportation, the supplier is Deere and Company. The value of this contract is $775,000. MDOT solicited competitive seal bid for the rental of 20 tractors for District 7. The original contract was approved by OPTFM staff, and this is the fourth of 4 possible 12-month extensions. OPTFM recommends approval of these extensions.
For staff recommendation, can I get a motion to approve?
Move for approval based on staff recommendation. Second.
Motion and second. All in favor? Motion passes.
Mississippi Department of Public Safety, the supplier is Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply. The total value is $1,879,798.56. EPS is requesting to use the state contract for Gulf Coast Business Furniture and Supply to purchase furniture for DPS headquarters and maintenance building. OPTFM recommends approval of this contract.
You've heard staff recommendation. Can I get a motion to approve?
Approve based on staff recommendation. Second.
Motion and a
I
second.
got a question.
Okay.
Is this for the new building?
Yes,
It is. How close are they to finishing that?
December.
Oh, okay, so they're ready to move in. Okay, all right. Okay, thank you.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion passes. Move on to DFA Bureau of Buildings.
First category of leases will be new leases.
It'll be, this is for Medicaid, it'll be in the Kosciuszko, Mississippi area for 6,200 square feet. At a yearly cost of $124,000 or $20 per square foot plus utilities and janitorial. The Kosciuszko Regional Office supports the Talent, Lee, and Choctaw counties with a total of 11,110 lives covered, which is 23.5% of the total population of the combined geographical area. This Medicaid office will ensure federal laws, regulations, and policies are followed while administrating its own programs regarding beneficiary eligibility. This is a 15-year lease with 2 5-year options to renew. The rental rate will increase by 3% per year for the entirety of the lease. This lease was advertised twice with only one response. RPM recommends the approval of this lease.
You've heard staff recommendation. Can I get a motion to approve?
I move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any questions?
I got one question. Just looking at all these different, per square foot costs. I don't see $20 in Jackson per square foot. Or maybe that's the wrong thing, maybe like Madison or Ridley. Is that does that seem high to anybody for Kosciuszko, Mississippi?
Well, it's a relatively new building.
It's a new building?
Relatively.
Okay,
And
maybe
it's
that's what it
limited.
is. Okay. They said they put it out for bid, so I mean, that's good, but that just seemed a little high for Kosciuszko.
I'm saying you probably don't have that much choice in that, at 60,000 square feet in that area.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe so. Yes, that's, okay. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Two.
Do we need to vote on
Well, yeah,
Yeah, we need, yeah.
yeah. Can I get a motion to approve?
That's,
We already did that.
Yeah.
All right, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes.
The next lease is a build to lease. It is also with Medicaid in Pascagoula area, 9,600 square feet. Proposed total yearly cost years 1 through 5 is $203,304.21.18. Year 6 through 10 is $214,080, and that's $22.30 plus utilities and janitorial. Years 11 through 15 is $224,652, and that is $23.40 plus utilities. This will be the Pascagoula Regional Office for Medicaid. Currently, this office employs 21 Medicaid personnel with responsibilities that include program eligibility, fraud prevention, and serve as the communication link between local officials and providers. This is a 15-year lease with no options to renew. This lease was advertised twice again with only one response. RPM recommends the approval of this lease.
You've heard staff recommendation. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve based on staff recommendation.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor? Motion passes.
The next category is amended leases. We start with the Department of Health. That's over in Florida, Mississippi for 18,768 square feet. At a yearly cost of $225,216, that's $12 per square foot plus utility and janitorial. The existing unit that now occupies the building is acute care, emergency medical services, emergency planning and response, and radiological health, parking and storage of emergency vehicles, and 8 red health trailers is also part of this lease. The agency has been here since January of 21. This amendment extends the lease for 5 years. There are no renewals. Department of Health asked PPRB for a waiver on the health efficiency requirements. It's written in 300.13 section 6 of the state leasing manual, and this has to do with storage, required storage. RPM recommends the approval of this lease.
First staff recommendation. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
A motion and second.
I've got a question, or maybe just, not particular to this just kind of piques my curiosity. It appears that Medicaid pays more than the state agencies. Is there some sort, does Medicaid, the federal funding, say, okay, you could pay up to this? Do they have a limit, or do they dictate what you can do? I mean, here we're in Pearl, Mississippi on Airport Road, which is a highly traffic area, and you're paying $12, and you go to Kosciuszko paying $20. But it's Medicaid versus Department of Health. Is that, am I reading into something that's not there?
Well, yeah, the federal program, I mean, if you go to Portland, Oregon, they're paying, $42 a square foot. So it's.
So they
it's all
thought,
kind of
so the
relative.
federal program thinks they're getting the deal at 20.
Yeah.
I mean, is that kind of, think that's part of the mentality of it?
I know that the leaseors here locally, are very competitive. Okay. That's the extent of my knowledge as far as the difference between a federal program and a local.
I would also say that federal regulations are more, in some cases, on space utilization, or perhaps even stricter than some of our state ones. That could be part of it, but yeah, I think it's probably, people recognize that it may be a cash cow.
A little bit more cash cow than going
But,
to the state.
you've got the same rate in Pascagoula, but there may be more space, dollar more. Kosciuszko is limited.
How much?
All right, I just.
I may have to
kinda
build a
struck me
building.
when you- I appreciate it.
I got another question. Ken, 310 Airport Road, where is it?
It's the main drag going in from I-20 over to the airport.
Is it in between 20 and 8?
It is before you get to,
Okay, it's in between I-20 and 8.
right across the street from Miss Kelly's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I was just wondering because you said this is primarily storage.
Well, there's a lot of storage to it, yes.
Okay, that could have an impact on the cost per square foot.
Yes.
That you just get an open building for people, because it looks like you're putting a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
More so than people.
There's room in the back of the facility, it's fenced in, to put the trailers and so forth.
Well, I was just wondering because I go down that road a lot and I don't remember seeing anything, so it must be well hidden. I mean, it backs up to that cemetery.
Right.
Right there. Okay. Well, the reason I was saying that, David, it may be because it's a storage facility as much as having a people place. Also,
That helps the explanation.
well, I didn't know it until Ken said that. He said it's, and with all the equipment that's sitting out there, and I never see it. So it's probably stored away in that building.
If you would, when we renewed this the last time, this would be prior to the warehouse being built next to surplus. So all that will eventually go out to surplus as far as, not surplus, but it's the new facility out near surplus. So right now they have the need for it. They could, and this particular facility adjust their, charter from time to time as far as purpose, according to the budget and what they actually need to move around.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I appreciate the conversation on things.
Okay, all in favor?
Motion passes.
The next amended lease is again with the Department of Health, and this is in Richmond, Mississippi, for 28,071 square feet for a yearly cost of $392,994, $14 per square foot, and that's less utilities and janitorial. Purpose of the lease, this is the Office of Preventative Health and Disparity Elimination, the Office of Medical Cannabis, and the Office Against Interpersonal Violence. These offices are pursuing an expansion of their services due to an increase in demand. This is a 5-year amended lease with no renewals. The AC has been at this location since January of 17. RPM recommends the approval of this lease.
First staff recommendation, can I get a motion to approve?
Move approval, side.
Second.
A motion and a second, all in favor? Motion passes.
The next amended lease is with the Mississippi Department of Public Safety, and this is a Tupelo, Mississippi for 3,200 square feet at a yearly cost of $32,400 and $9.95 plus utilities and janitorial. This is a driver's license testing and renewal facility. It's been here since November of 24. The amendment extends the lease for 1 year with no renewals. RPM recommends the approval of this lease.
You've heard staff recommendation. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve based on staff recommendation.
Second.
Have a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
The next amended lease is with Mississippi Department of Rehabilitation Services, Long Beach, Mississippi, for 730 square foot. This is an apartment that we've brought to y'all before. $12,000 a year or $16.44 plus utilities and janitorial. And this is with the one clients and associates with rehab services. This amendment extends the lease for 1 year, no renewals. This AC has been at this location since November of 23. Recommends the approval of this lease.
You've heard staff recommendation. Can I get a motion to approve?
I move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next category is non-competitive leases. This is with the Mississippi Employment Security Commission over in Meridian, Mississippi for 7,000 square feet. If this is for the Meridian Community, from the Meridian Community College, it's going to be a WIN job center. Year one is 119,000 or $17 per square foot. Year two is $121,380 for $17.34 plus utilities and janitorial. Year three is $123,760, and that is $17.68 plus utilities and janitorial. This will be at Wind Job Center for the Meridian area. This is a 3-year non-competitive lease with no renewals. RPM recommends the approval of this lease.
First staff recommendation. Can I get a motion to approve?
I motion to approve based on staff recommendation.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next category is emergency leases. The first one is Mississippi Department of Marine Resources in Biloxi, Mississippi for 9,936 square feet. Yearly cost of $119,232, $12 per square foot, and this plus utilities and janitorial. This lease is in response to an emergency situation at the Bolton building that requires the relocation of staff. This emergency lease complies with 300.9 Section 3 of the state leasing manual. This is a 1-year emergency lease with no renewals. RPM recommends the ratification of this emergency lease.
Mr. Chairman, I'm just gonna explain what's going on at Bolton. We were spending some ARPA money, and Glenn can correct me because I'm giving you the redneck explanation. We were doing some ARPA work and discovered mold behind some fan core units, and in abundance of caution, we felt we needed to get everybody out and do proper testing and remediation if it needs to be. So you'll see a lease on here from DMR. They have lots of federal money, so they chose to get their own place to live for a year. The next thing you'll see is a DFA one, which we are providing space for everybody else that had to evacuate the building, and we had to do it under an emergency for that purpose. So you'll see, you may see this again. We tried to go to a second building and it also tested positive for mold. So we finally hit one that was good. So we're jumping on it. So I just wanted to explain what's going on.
Thank you. So Marine Resources doing it themselves,
They are.
and y'all are doing it for everybody else?
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Marine Resources receives a lot of federal money, so he has the capability to do that. A lot of these other folks do not. So
It falls your lot to do.
as the landlord, we feel like it's our obligation to provide them space while we,
Just out of curiosity, what's the time frame on getting Bolton back up and running?
well, it's gonna be a hot minute.
Okay.
I mean, it's
It's not like
gonna
this
be.
building here.
So we were working on first and second floor first, and because that's on a separate unit. It's not fan coils, it's a regular air conditioning heating. So we're doing that, starting that. I think it was Monday, we kind of staged and they're getting ready. Then once we do that, get that situated, then we'll go up to 3 through 6.
Okay,
So it's not gonna be like next week.
next week. Okay,
And on your number 2 there, the one you're doing, we're entitled probably to some federal reimbursement through DFA, right? I mean, from DFA may receive some, or is it already?
Everybody that's living, the rest of the folks, I don't think receive any federal money. And then we are able to remediate some of this under.
Under ARPA, yeah.
okay.
Okay. You've heard staff recommendations. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, staff recommendation.
Second.
I got a motion, second, all in favor?
Uh,
Motion passes.
Second emergency lease is with the Department of Finance Administration. This is in Biloxi, Mississippi for 1,850 square feet. It cost $23,088, $12.48 plus utilities and janitorial. Again, this lease is in response to an emergency situation at the Bolden building that requires the relocation of staff. Emergency complies with 300.9 section 3 of the state leasing manual. This is a 1-year emergency lease with no renewals. RPM recommends the ratification of this emergency lease.
So you've heard staff recommendation. Can I get a motion to approve?
Move for approval based on staff recommendation.
So,
Have a motion and second, all in favor? Motion passes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Jonathan Room with the Office of Personal Service Contract Review. Item number 1 is petition for relief from competitive sales bidding submitted by the Mississippi State Department of Health. The agency is seeking a contractor to provide professional services in the development and implementation of a multi-year comprehensive published state health plan. The plan will serve as a foundational public health and health care resource for the agency and its external partners. Rooted in a new framework designed to promote statewide alignment with the department's mission, which is to protect and advance the health, well-being, and safety of everyone in Mississippi. The agency contends the use of an invitation for bids to select a contractor is either practical or advantageous because the agency needs to evaluate based on technical and performance capabilities, and price is not the most factor to consider for these services. With a request for proposed procurement, offers will be evaluated on technical factors weighted at 35%, management factors weighted at 30%, and cost and price at 35%. ODSL recommends approval of this request.
You've heard staff recommendation. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
second.
Have a motion second, all in favor? Motion passes. Morning, Bob.
Mississippi Department of Health and Safety is requesting to modify their contract with Cannon Cochran. The term of the original contract is 4 years with 1 optional renewal. Modification 2 is to bid to update the compensation clause and increase the spending authority in the amount of $1,080,000. All other terms and conditions remain the same. OPSER recommends approval of this request.
You've heard staff recommendation. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve with the question.
Second.
They have a motion and second, David.
The $5 million, is that to pay claims or is that just to adjudicate the claims? Is that $5 million what they use money to pay the workers' comp claim, or just somebody sit up there and say, hey, you deserve X and you deserve Y? It's not clear to me what that money's for.
She will be represented for DPS on the.
Because it said modification 2 has been submitted to increase the spending authority. So does that mean that 5 million and the million modification is just be able to settle the claim or award the claim, or is it just what is considered an adjudication of claims?
We have DPS on the line.
Yes, hi. Can y'all hear me? My name's Hannah Harris and I'm the HR director. So the amount of money is to actually extend our contract just for a 5th year.
What? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
The amount of money is just to extend our contract. So the contract is designed for 4 years and we're just renewing for the last and final 5th year.
What's the money for? Is it?
We have
pay-
to we do have active claims. We have to maintain a certain balance, but that amount is really only to cover us for 1 more year at the same cost of the 4 years. We just need the extra allowance to get us to the 5th year.
Cover the
The
claims?
cover,
or
it's
cover-
coverage.
Coverage claims or legal fees or insurance? Is it self-insurance? What is this?
We are self-insured. Department of Public
So-
Safety, we provide our own workers' comp insurance. We have a primary and secondary.
Yeah, this is not to pay the claims. This is to review all
This
incidents,
is
find the
administrative
causes,
cost.
conduct investigations.
So this is in addition to paying the actual claim.
This is administration.
Yes, this is administrative work.
Okay.
A 5th year coverage extension, yes, so that we can
Of adminis- yeah, of admi-
maintain coverage.
Yeah.
Is Cannon Cochran an individual or a company or?
It's a company.
Is this a third-party administrator?
They are third party from us, but DPS, I guess, is set up differently from other agencies where we don't fall with under DFA. We are self-insured through CCSMI, and we have a secondary insurance company that covers anything over CCSMI, if it were to go over their amount.
So is this money used to pay, are you self-insured? This money used to pay your self-insured claims?
Yeah, it's to pay the administrator of those claims.
Like they go out and investigate. I mean, we have one for the, it's the same thing. They go out and investigate
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Is what it sounds like to me.
So in addition to this, y'all are putting money aside through your workers' comp into your own pool where you actually pay your claims from, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
And then you have to probably have an umbrella on top of it. The comp reaches a certain amount and you
You gotta
got
stop
reinsurance
loss.
on top of that. Is that correct?
Yes, well, the nature of our workers, we just have a larger number of claimants because of the law enforcement capacity. So CCSMI covers the majority of our claimants. And if we were to go over their threshold, then we would be picked up by our secondary insurer. So this is our administrator. They help us put people on workers' comp, take them off workers' comp. We're just asking for a 5th year extension.
I appreciate that explanation. Thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion passes.
The Department of Public Safety is also requesting to modify their contract with National Medical Services. The term of the original contract was 1 year with score optional renewal. Modification 1 was commission to update the compensation clause and increase the civil authority in the amount of $1,250,000. All other terms and conditions remain the same. OPSCR recommends approval. This request contingent upon the receipt of the required certificate of insurance.
You've heard staff recommendation. Can I get a motion to approve?
I move for approval based on staff recommendation.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion passes.
Item number 3, this is a new contract between Boswell Regional Center and Dr. Joe Allen Harris in the amount of $1,307,704.32 with a term of 4 years and 8 months. Dr. Joe Allen Harris is a contract worker who is a psychiatrist that will provide services for Boswell Regional Center and South Mississippi State Hospital as requested by the facility director of Boswell or designee. He will also serve as a collaborating consulting position for psychiatric and nurse practitioners. The contract worker was selected for a request for applications and was the sole respondent. Dr. Harris will be paid $200 per hour. OPSCR recommends approval of this request.
You heard staff recommendation. Can I get a motion to approve?
I move for approval based on staff recommendation.
Second.
Have a motion, a second, and a question.
Is Dr. Harris the current supplier? Chad, are you on the line?
Yes, ma'am. He is. He's actually working with us through a emergency contract that was approved last month.
Thank you. Do you know how long he has been a supplier for?
It's only been, if I'm not mistaken, just a few months. Definitely less than about 6 months.
Ma'am?
Any further questions? All in favor? Motion passes.
Item number 4, this is a new contract between Barstow Regional Center and Hanco LLC in the amount of $720,000 with a term of 5 years with no optional renewals. The contract is a company of medicine who will provide medical care for Brookhaven and Western Brook Homes, as well as the Mississippi Adolescent Center located in Brookhaven, Mississippi. The contractor will also serve as medical director for Boswell Regional Center. They were selected for a request for qualifications and were the sole respondent. The agency is requesting an exception to PPRB or PSCR rules and regulations, section 6.9.1, citing the agency's definition of principle of the author and the minor information and irregularities clauses as outlined in the PPRB regulations were left out of the RFQ solicitation. OPSCR has reviewed the request and has no concerns that granting the exception would affect competition, fairness, or transparency of the procurement. OPSCR recommends approval of this request.
First staff recommendation, can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the question.
Second.
David?
Yeah, Hayco LLC, is that it? So this is a contractor, is a doctor of medicine. Is there just one person involved or is Hayco kind of got several, 4, 5, 6 doctors that they agreed to provide a doctor as needed?
This is Benji Purser with Boswell Regional Center. Hayco is actually one doctor. That's just how he's LLC through his for his tax purposes. But he's going to be the sole person operating the contract.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion passes. Morning.
Director of PPSPR, and number 5 is a contract from the Mississippi Department of Finance Administration Office of Insurance. The contractor provides pharmacy benefit management services for the state and employees' health insurance plan. The agency has determined that exigent circumstances exist that prevent it from running a competitive solicitation before the expiration of its current contract due to all 3 proposals from potential vendors being deemed unresponsive and the formal solicitation being canceled on March 6, 2025. The current vendor, CVS Health, has agreed to execute a 1-year extension until December 30th, 2026, to allow the state employees' health insurance plan to continue services while the agency reissues an RFP for a new contract. Given the current circumstances, it's in the best interest of the Office of Insurance and state and city to proceed with the execution of the amendment of the existing contract on an exigent basis. Amendment 7 has been submitted to add the manufacturer coupon, patient assistant programs description, to add the point solution management service terms and conditions, and to update the incorporation of documents clause. All of the terms and conditions remain the same. Based on the agency's determination that the requirements for exigent circumstances have been met, OPSCR recommends approval of this request.
You've heard staff recommendation. Can you get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve based on staff recommendation.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions?
Yes. None of that was in this thing that we got.
Yeah, that's not relevant to this summary. This summary is just for adding a little bit of scope to the exigent circumstance y'all had already approved.
Okay.
So the summary that's up here is correct. The summary you got is correct.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Just give you a recap for how we got here.
Okay. All right. Cause I was trying to read along and I got lost at the end of the first sentence.
Sorry.
That's fine, that's fine.
All right, any further questions? All in favor?
Uh,
Motion passes. Morning.
Statewide strategic sourcing, the Mississippi Department of Marine Utilities requests a contract with Michael Baker International for a one-year term and an optional one-year renewal. The total contract value is $160,900 for the period of October 1, 2025 through September 30, 2026. The contractor will support the municipalities of Waveland, Biagonville, and Bay St. Louis by performing specific community rating system activities aimed at improving each community's rating, enhancing resilience, and reducing residents' flood insurance premiums. The contract was awarded following an invitation for bids, which received 5 bids. The lowest bid was deemed unreasonable and subsequently rejected by the agency. Therefore, the contract is being awarded to the next lowest responsive and responsible bidder. OSS recommends approval of this request.
You've heard staff recommendation. Can I get a motion to approve?
I move for approval based on staff recommendation.
Second.
Have a motion, second, any questions?
Question, unreasonable, would that mean it was, I mean, priced too low to accomplish what we were proposing? Okay. Thank you.
I get a summary of what a community rating system activities are. What does that involve?
So I have Jamie on the line from EMR.
Hey, I'm here.
Yeah, could you kind of flesh out what the community rating system activities are? What do they do to enhance resilience and reduce flood insurance programs? What kind of things do they do?
So I have Jared Harris sitting here with me. He's the project manager. I'm going to let him speak.
All right, I appreciate that.
All right, so to be eligible for the federal flood insurance, the communities enter into the National Flood Insurance Program just to be eligible for flood insurance. But then you have kind of beyond just the basic flood damage prevention ordinance of the city where you can start doing activities based on the FEMA and the floodplain management activity. So for every activity you do, if you meet certain thresholds, you get a 5% reduction. Every class you move down, starting with 9, 8, 7. So every class you move down, you get a 5% reduction for everybody in the community. Flood insurance premium. And it could be, I mean, it covers the gamut of, you know, building codes, stormwater, floodplain management plans, open space preservation, just any of the things that that FEMA has deemed necessary to lower your risk of flood. Substantial damage plans, there's just a plethora of activities you can do. Flood warning systems to get out the, you know, whether it's sirens or having your first responders to go, you know, just to get the warning out.
All right, that explains it very well.
That makes good sense. So it's at the city level or the county level that they have to change rules as far as height of buildings that are being built and things like that. Is that what we're talking about?
That's part of it, yes, but floodplain management is controlled at the local level. So whether it's municipal or the county level, you know, it goes FEMA, MEMA, and then down to the county level or the local level is actually where these things are implemented. So some cities might be an 8, some might be a 7. It just depends on how much effort they put into these activities.
Okay. All right.
But yes, elevation is one of them. You have to have elevation certificates. That's part of being in the CRS program.
Good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All in favor? Motion passes. Do we have any other business?
I would like to introduce a new member of the DSA team. Some of y'all might know him from way back in the day. We have Lance Fulcher. He is going to take over the Office of Strategic Sourcing and Statewide Fleet. So we're happy to have him, join the team.
Come on, Lance.
Congratulations. Any other business? Our next meeting will be Wednesday, November 5th. Same place, same time. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, second.
Have a motion second. All in favor?
Good stuff.
We're done.
Thank you.